Hey guys, it's Nina. So in today's video I would like to talk about binging. And I feel like most people that have had anorexia or some other type of eating disorder, I'm not gonna obviously say binge eating disorder because duh. So a lot of people that have had anorexia, I feel like also have to deal with binging at some point. And so for me personally, it's definitely something that I've had to struggle with as well, especially in the more recent parts of my recovery, because I don't know. Well, the number one thing that comes into my mind is restriction. You've restricted yourself for months, maybe even years, and your body isn't used to normal food, which is because either you restrict yourself from everything that seems unhealthy or calorie dense or just, I don't know. So there are probably certain foods that you haven't had in a really long time. And then in your recovery, you introduce them into your diet for the first time, and your body kind of doesn't really know what to do with it. So the thing is, once you introduce these kind of foods to your diet again, your body is like, yes, give me more. So your body is naturally going to crave all the foods that you deprived from it for so long, because these kind of foods are probably very high in fat and high in sugar and high in carbohydrates. So all the things that your body naturally craves. And that is why it is hard to stop once you started. And so for me, at least, when I ate these kind of foods, I just wouldn't be able to stop myself anymore. So I couldn't just have one cookie or just one serving of chips, or I don't know, maybe just one or two pieces of chocolate. No. When I ate these kind of foods, I just ate them all, and I couldn't really stop because, first of all, they don't really make you full. So it's not like eating a meal where you have to stop at some point because you're just too full. So it's not that, definitely. But yeah, so once I started eating these foods, I couldn't bring myself to stop. And that's because for the longest time, I didn't allow myself to at least have little bits and pieces here and there. I usually restricted myself to a point where it was a complete no-go. So none of these kind of foods. And so there definitely have been periods that have gone on longer than just a day or two. So it was periods of maybe around 2 to 3 weeks where I would just stuff my face every day. And once your body gets used to these kind of foods, so the junk type of foods, it's really hard to break the cycle and get back to normal healthy eating, because see, many people, like my parents or my friends that I told about this, were like, it doesn't matter because you've deprived yourself for so long and you need to gain weight, and etc, etc. But while they're true about that, and it's completely right what they're saying, there's still a thing that you need nutrients to survive. And at this point, I wasn't eating anything healthy anymore. I was just eating that junk food. And so you need your nutrients to stay healthy. And after a while, your body will seriously feel like shit. It's not just a stereotype where it's like, a bad diet won't do anything for you. No, if you only eat that type of food, you will physically feel like crap. So that's what happened to me too. I started to feel really sluggish and tired and just unwell and kind of sick, but not really, nauseous, but not really. So that's what happened. And so yeah, but it was really hard to break the cycle, because once I stopped these kind of once I started these kind of binging periods, I just couldn't stop myself. And so maybe some of you out there have had similar problems, and I would like to tell you how I sort of recover from these binges and what has really helped me, and maybe I can help you guys too. But please keep in mind that everybody's different, and this is not a one-size-fits-all sort of solution. So you can try it out, maybe it works for you, but maybe it doesn't. So yeah, you just have to figure out yourself what works for you. So I sat down and thought about how I could solve that problem, and one thing that I found out is that I like to eat huge quantities, and I like to eat a lot during the day. So when I binge, I typically eat all throughout the day, whereas when I was still in my eating disorder, I would only have like 3 meals and maybe like a snack that would be an apple or some type of veggies, you know, that type of thing. But during the binge periods, I would eat all throughout the day. And so I thought about how I could solve that. And what I did was I bought snacks that were healthier. So I bought like mini carrots and all types of fruits that I liked, and all sorts of veggies and rice cakes and popcorn, so the unsweetened and unsalted kind. And I bought snacks that I could eat a lot of, but that wouldn't have the same damaging, well, not really damaging, but the same effects as all the junk food. And so before you comment, oh my god, you're recommending to go back to your eating disorder, no, that's not what I mean. It's just sort of the transition from your binging to normal eating again. So I'm not saying that you're never going to have junk food again. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you should buy these type of things, or if it helps you, you can eat these type of things all throughout the day, and you will feel, well, somewhat okay, because for me it was all about the quantities, and so that definitely made me feel better. And then after a while, maybe like a few days or even weeks, you can start to introduce smaller portions of junk food again. So maybe like 1 serving of chips or 1 chocolate bar, you know, these type of things. And the thing about that is that you need to kind of train your body to eat normally again, because at this point it only knows extremes. It knows how to starve itself because you've done that for the longest time, and then it also knows how to stuff itself to the brim because you've also done that with your binges. But these two go hand in hand, because if you restrict yourself, you're going to binge. It's just, yeah, it's not rocket science. So yeah, you slowly have to learn to introduce these type of junk foods or treating foods again. And I feel like it takes time, and it's not going to work overnight, and you're definitely going to have setbacks. But yeah, I don't know, I mean, this is just my 2 cents to this, because obviously I'm not perfect. I'm probably like really not the best example here on YouTube, but this is just something that has helped me and that has worked for me for the past few weeks, and yeah, maybe even months. Has it been? Yeah. So yeah, maybe it helps you, and maybe you can also share in the comments your experiences with binging and how you deal with it. And yeah, it would be really interesting. I would be really interested in knowing that. And yeah, So thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, maybe. So yeah, that's it for today. Bye!